Welcome to Ein Sof. I'm Byron Jackson.
And I'm Jennifer O'Neill. And Ein Sof is the period before creation that was both unending and infinite.
We look at iconic figures from around the world to see what were they like before it all began.
Hello again. Welcome to part 5.
Thank you. I've aged. Hello, everyone. I will say doing these with Jennifer has been really interesting, simply because Jennifer knows me really well. And so the questions that she asks always goes a little bit past what my guard is. And so...
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Well, we try.
You'll have me like crying here in a moment.
Well, just in case you listened to the last episode or even if you didn't.
Poo-poo on you if you didn't.
We kind of left it with a cliffhanger.
I didn't feel like it was. She did.
Okay, well.
You could have that.
I thought you were the one that said cliffhanger.
I did.
Anyway.
I just like to argue with myself.
So we are here today again with Byron Jackson to look at his 50s, where he begins to explore music more in depth with learning guitar, becoming a DJ, exploring the music.
You're ready for, are you ready for your icebreaker?
Okay, we're ready.
Not yet?
No, yeah, now's the time.
Okay. How many different ways? For one, let me ask, do you like peanut butter?
Yes.
Okay. How many different ways do you eat peanut butter?
Currently or in the past?
Whichever, yeah.
I used to like crunchy a little bit, but I mostly do creamy.
Well, I meant, do you do like on toast?
It's coming.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I do it with apples. I do it with puppy chow is my favorite thing, to mix it with chocolate. Put it on cinnamon checks with some powdered sugar on top. That's my favorite way to eat peanut butter.
How about bananas?
And I like bananas, yeah.
I know somebody that eats it with cottage cheese.
That's weird.
Well, somebody might say that about the bananas, but how about with apple?
I love it with apples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or pears or...
Pears would be good. Pears would be good.
Peanut butter and almond butter with fruit. And carrots. Have you ever had it with carrots and celery?
I have not.
That's really good. Thank you for that less scientific icebreaker.
That's my last one. I really like... Could I do a timeout here? Keep going, Ben, but... I love watching Ben in the window. He's our engineer, because that guy just looks straight ahead.
He's intent. He's
in tech on that thing. We don't know if we're making him cry or laugh. It's just
all I know is that he's taking care of things.
He's taking care of things. Thank you. He's back. He's gone again.
And I appreciate it.
I appreciate Ben too. It's just as every engineer is like that. I'll look out the window and I'm thinking, this is really some funny shit I'm sharing. And I'll look over there and they just
serious.
I go, well, maybe it's not that funny.
Well, they have to stay on task, I guess.
Unlike me, who hasn't found a task yet that he could stay on.
That's right. Well, we got a lot to cover in this decade.
My mom used to send me for bread when it's a kid.
Case in point. Tell me.
My mom would send me for bread, which was like 3 blocks away. She'd go get us a loaf of bread. And she'd give me about couple of quarters because it was like 35 cents or something. I'd be gone like 2 hours. I'd come in empty-handed. She goes, "Where's the bread?" She goes, "Dang it."
Well, And you didn't tell me how you use peanut butter. Do you put it on bread? I mean, that's kind of an obvious one.
Toast mostly. And I do like the apple. I like the apple. And I'm open to the carrot. The only thing I'm completely closed on is the cottage cheese.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
So if you're out there and you like peanut butter and cottage cheese, God loves you.
And please
much.
leave us a comment on here so we'll know you exist. So there are so many directions we could go with this.
Yes, my life is in your hands.
Well, I feel like, was there a correlation between you sobering up and the learning the guitar and the DJ, or did those happen separately?
Yes. Once I sobered up, it's like everything in my life was in pieces in different directions. The moment I sobered this time, I started finding a connection between everything.
Okay. So you could see more clearly.
Yes. Because I became more open to the universe, for one, and which God, the universe, whatever title you use, I just became open to listening to other people and what they told me. And I always felt like that I knew what to do or where to go or what I was going to do. I mean, if you stop a junkie and go, what are you doing? I mean, they'll make stories up. If you go to prisons, almost every prisoner will be telling you what they're going to do when they get out, but they don't tell you. I'm just open to the process of what happens to me. And so sobering up did that for me.
How did it do that?
So you want to know how I sobered up first, or how did it do? Like, how did it
make everything connect? Well, you could tell us the story.
Well, I just, like I said, I was in the last episode, chapter 9.
You were down.
I was down, and I really did try to stop. Because, I mean, it was just insane. I was ordering drugs from across the sea, and because I couldn't get any more medicine chests, and so I was paying an exorbitant amount. I spent all my savings, my retirement on buying drugs because you could buy them offshore from other places. And I would go, okay, this is the last time I'm doing this. And then I'm just going to wean off. And then that bottle would be gone, and I just couldn't stop. And the more that I couldn't stop, the more defeating it got to me. And so I just felt like I was like keeping all these balloons bouncing in the air of my life.
Did anybody know what was happening
with
you?
I think so, yeah. I mean, the net started closing in, Teresa knew. And I remember talking to Alexis once when I was doing a men's tour, and she goes, yeah, I knew that you were ordering drugs because you just would have all these packages come all the time. And you just go, oh, yeah, these are just blah, blah, blah.
But nobody ever talked about it.
No, nobody talked about it until Teresa, I mean, when we went to Italy, and she found my stash that I had taken. And she just goes, what is this? And so I tell you, 99 times out of 100, I would have just, speaking of Alexis, 99 times out of 100, I would have just lied and made stuff up. And for some reason, I just at that moment go, I need help. And I didn't, whatever was suggested. Go to treatment, go to recovery group, whatever. And so
Did she kind of arrange that for you?
No. And we did the vacation. The rest of the vacation was fine because I didn't have like secrets on the rest of the vacation. So I was going through withdrawal, but then when I got back in town, I go, I'll try this recovery group, and I tried it, and it happened to be a group where they gave a lot of instructions or suggestions.
Was that helpful for you?
And I found it was life-saving.
Yeah.
And because it just tested my willingness to listen to somebody else. And so it got me in the pattern of listening to other people's direction and thoughts. And
so had you separated from like your previous support system from when you were young and came to Norman, like the ministers at the church and Dick Virtue and
like Dick had died and a lot
Father
of them had died.
Pentecost.
He had died. And
so you didn't have really any mentors or anybody that was
no
could call you on or talk to you straight. Yeah. So then
it's a good question though.
Yeah. So, but you were able to make new connections with people and
recovery.
In recovery, yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't think I would. I mean, and those connections ended up being people that I'm friends with for 20 years now.
I think I find the same thing in recovery circles, just lifelong friends.
Yeah, and I didn't think so when we met. It's goes, okay, Andy's okay. He's okay. He complains a lot. I'll hang with him. And so who knew, like 21 years later, we'd like laugh at how much we complained and stuff. Yeah. So your question was, with like playing the guitar and DJing, did that come? So now remember I was working at Possibilities at that time. And so I remember coming to them and telling them, guys, I'm starting to go to a recovery group because and they go, I never see you drink and stuff because everything was under.
So you were already working at Possibilities?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Eric was born and Olivia was so Eric was about 5 and Olivia was 2. And so, Anyway, I remember coming and telling them that I was in recovery. And
the kids?
No. Well, the kids knew because we were taking them to meetings.
Oh, you mean the Possibilities?
Possibilities. Team? And they go, oh, no, you don't drink or anything.
Really?
And
you had the wool pulled.
Over my own eyes.
Yeah.
And then about a year later, seeing the change in me, and they go, oh my God, you used to be an asshole. And
wow.
And so they just saw the shift in my behavior. Because I used to think, I'm good at facilitating and you guys are just hanging on to my coattails and blah, blah, blah. And I would say stuff like that. When the men process came, there was a long list that I had to make.
So you would teach facilitation and collaboration, but you didn't put it into practice.
Good idea. Yes, good.
Until later.
Until later, yes. Which is longer now than a lot of people have been alive. And so yes. So anyway, one of the things is my sponsor, the person who worked with me in the program, he said he played the guitar. And I said, well, I play the guitar too. And I knew 3 chords maybe. Mm-hmm. And so he goes, well, bring over your guitar and we'll play some blues. And so I take my guitar over his house and I play for about a minute. And he goes, you suck. And so he goes, I want you to take some lessons. So he sends me to this guy, Chuck. and I started taking guitar lessons. I did for 8 years.
Wow.
And I learned a lot. But what I knew I would never be a guitar maestro. But as he had a studio in his house, and I was really fascinated by his equipment. And so somehow at Morningstar, they asked me, could I DJ like a party that they were having? And so I had never done that. And so I borrowed some equipment from Mario here at Possibilities. And I went and DJ'd this party, and it went really well. And so I asked Teresa, what do you think about me DJing on the side? And she says, I think that's a good idea. She never thinks any of my ideas are a good idea. So
So it had to be a God thing.
So before she could change her mind, I just ran out and bought about $1,000 worth of equipment. So I was locked in, and so that's when I started doing that. And the first time I did it, because the guy at the Guitar Center, he sold it to me. He goes, yeah, you just put this wire in here and over there, and so I'm nothing mechanical like that. And I go, yeah, I got it. And I get this gig and I plug in and like nothing, no sound comes out. And luckily there was a guy there who
helped you,
helped me too. And so it probably took me about 5 years to be able to interact with the audience and play the music at the same time, because you have to do all this electronic stuff while you're like talking. And
I was going to ask how you incorporated your creativity with groups.
I couldn't do it until it took me some time.
So did you just play music at first?
Yeah.
Then you started slowly interacting once you got comfortable.
And then I would interact more. And so I would take. So really, in ways, you can't tell my trainings from my DJing because they're both the same. I mean, I really think that music is a spiritual expression of our humanity. And if we tap into that, magical things could happen. And so my goal always with DJing is to hit that chord where people are just free. Like I DJ'd last night, and it's always, people kind of polite and they'll kind of sing back and stuff. And then you'll look up 30 minutes later, and I mean, people are sweating. And I go, we hit that. And people on the side that were watching, and suddenly they're in there dancing, and you just lose all inhibitions, and so that's what I go for in DJing. But I do that also in training.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we get that magic chord where there's just such honesty and genuineness in this moment that we don't have to pretend. We can dance, we could laugh, we can make fun of each other, and we can share our pains.
Well, yeah, and I've appreciated. I've been to several of your DJ gigs, and they were fun.
Well, I have to say, just for people that don't know Jennifer and I, that really the way that we started being friends was at one of our conferences of our recovery group. They wanted, we're okay with traditions, aren't we? With the recovery group, we ended up taking over, being asked to do a play, which was a mock play of like funny, but about drinking, to kind of break the ice with a conference of speakers. So we would write this play like called Blazing Bottles, which was based off of Blazing Saddles, our bar wars. And so Jennifer and I worked on that for years. And so we got to know each other very well. And
don't forget Twilight.
Twilight.
We started with that.
What did we call that?
Highlight.
Yeah, we started with Highlight. And so those were very, very fun. But working with you, just because Jennifer is much more assertive with me now, but at that time we were just getting to know each other. And I would have a harebrained idea, and I'd go, why don't we like go up on the roof, jump off, and pretend like we have a parachute on? And she would just stare at me, and she wouldn't say anything. And I go, okay, well, I guess that's not a good idea.
But then there were other ideas that you had that you said things, and I was like, wow, yeah, let's do that. Like take all the colored rainbow flags and fly them around and do this all while we're singing to Bob Dylan or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it was like, oh, wow, that actually looks really cool. I mean, it was a very creative time in my life too.
Yeah, you added things because I would get, like, I can get a vision of something, but the nuts and bolts of how that looks,
I can get it done. Yeah.
You get that. You figure out and go, no, we need lights over here and we need this. And so that's probably one of my most fun and fulfilling partnerships I've had with working with somebody.
Yeah.
And just because we're so different in that way and how we creatively express.
Right.
Anyway, enough about us. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, so did you learn about your own creativity through just the expansion of DJing and being sober and facilitating? And how did that all culminate to?
I think I started realizing that this wonderful gift I had been given, everybody doesn't have. And so I would just go, yeah, you just go in front of a group and you do this icebreaker and you go blip, 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 blip. Okay, go. And people would just be like in sheer terror. And so realizing, okay, there's some things here. And so Possibilities is founded on a social anthropology model. And what that means is going into different cultures and studying them without trying to change them. And so under that, there's some values that anthropologists use in terms of how do you gain the trust of a community that might mistrust you and who doesn't know you. And so I really started paying attention to what are the components of trust. And so we came up here with like the values that we have, like trust, dignity, and service, because we realized that we need to operate on a set of values to work with groups. And so that goes into everything that I do in terms of like realizing I have to build trust with people. I have to treat everyone with dignity, no matter who they are. And so anyway.
Well, what I think is interesting about the work you do, because I've been able to go through some of the programs, is you take that philosophy and you introduce it as as part of the training. And then as time goes, then you teach them to be able to go out and do some of the training.
Which is it.
Yeah. However, like you said, I mean, it's not like everyone has natural ability. It's like, but it's a learning process.
It's a learning. And then if you look at me, it probably wasn't natural at first. But then I have like 40 years of doing that. And so suddenly that becomes very easy. And I could go in my mind and pull out something that I maybe did 30 years ago. Like I have this one icebreaker, which we used to do at camp called Black Socks. We were just saying, black socks, the longer you wear them, the blacker they get. One day, I'll probably wash them, but something tells me I won't do it yet, not yet. And you sing it in a round. So you break people up. And so it's almost like row your boat.
Right,
but,
yeah.
And so somewhere I'll be in front of a group and that will pop in my head and I go, okay, we're going to do black socks. And so, but that comes from like 40 years ago.
Yeah. Having that.
And so it wasn't natural. It wasn't a natural thing with me. But I have learned some tricks that I can teach people that helps them to make that process. Because now my whole thing is I want to pass whatever I have, I want to give away. I used to have this boss, and do I have time for this story? So anyway, here's my boss, and but he's a strange guy, and so but he would always tell me, he said, always keep some of your stuff to yourself because people will keep wanting you back. And that hit me as so oppositely wrong that I just never did it. And I just go, no, what I have, I give away. But so with him, what's interesting is we were supposed to do this training in Ardmore and for people in substance abuse. And so we had an hour before lunch. And so he was supposed to do 30 minutes and then I do 30 minutes. He goes 50 minutes.
Oh, man.
And he just goes the whole time. And so the lady that did it, she says, you know, you haven't got to do any of your time. Take some more time. And I go, I am not going into these people's lunch.
Yeah.
And
then did they ask you back and not him?
So, well, I went up, I did a 5-minute icebreaker, and then I let them go. And they had me come back there for like about 10 years, every year.
That's what I was thinking.
And so I developed this. And so, you know, just doing that, you just learn certain lessons about honoring dignity. You know, you give dignity to your audience and
start on time, end on time.
End on time, and you trust and you build trust with them. And so, and it's not about what's coming out of your mouth, it's what's coming out of your feet and your actions.
Yeah. Well, one of the favorite things, or one of the first things you taught me was to learn about and then lean into my strengths. And so I feel like that's just something that I carry with me and help try to put that into my service towards others also. But it's helped me to become a better community member and person who does service.
Well, but you also teach a lot. I mean, you teach a lot and you're different. You know, you teach yoga and then, you know, you teach Thai, massage. I mean, you do a lot of teaching to a lot of people. And so not only do you just show that, I mean, you teach that. And
So I've definitely benefited from the things you've done and said and taught and all of it.
Somebody came up to me, I think a week ago, and they go, you know, the life that, because we were talking about, would you change anything in your life? And my past is what I have to give to the world. And so anything that I've learned in my past, I want to give that because it could help somebody else in some way. And so that's what I want to give to people is all of my past. That's why I don't care about sharing. Yes, I've had 4 wives, and yes, I've done drug addiction, and yes, you know, just all of it.
Well, because people can breathe a sigh of relief when they can identify, and sharing your experience, strength, and hope is something that everybody can relate to. I think that's just that in and of itself is a great gift. So, is there anything that you want to share about looking back on your 50s? And
I enjoy, we didn't get as much personal with this, but I really learned my lesson using with raising children and what I have learned being sober with my kids and the presence. And I just think the model that I was taught was to, so the model I was taught was you raise kids to be little miniature yous. And what I did with my kids is I realized they were beings here that I was in charge to protect for a while. And so I just watched their interaction with the universe. And so it's very great to share that with my children. And they go, I think this. And I go, that's interesting. And so child rearing was very, very fun. I went back to being PTA president again.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, and I could do a whole show just on the PTA. And
well, we're not quite done yet.
Okay.
Thank you again for sharing. And it was great to see just the things you learned and passed on. And
well, thank you. And she has to get to yoga, folks. So
stay tuned for our next episode where we continue to dive into and explore
she got
iconic people's origin story like Byron.
She got the yoga mat out. I'm not doing that
down
yoga.
Dog. Warrior 2. Okay. Have fun, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast Platform. Thank you all for listening.